Good morning to one and all. Today I am discussed about the Bessel's formula. Okay, so we know that time period for compound pendulum. Okay, if we consider the Cater's pendulum, so there are two knip edges having different time periods. So T1 is considered as a time period for first knip edge K1 and T2 is the time period required for the second knip edge. Okay. So Bessel's formula, principle of Bessel's formula is it is not necessary to make the two time periods exactly equal. Okay. So but it is sufficient to make these two time periods are nearly equal. Okay, so this is the principle of Bessel's formula. So by using Bessel's formula, we can calculate the value of g, acceleration due to gravity. Okay, so for acceleration due to gravity, we can use here time period for first cleavage and time period for second cleavage of compound pendulum. So we know that T1 is the 2 pi root of k square plus L1 square by g into L1 and T2 is the 2 pi root of k square plus L2 square by g into L2. Okay. So squaring these two equations we get T1 square is equal to 4 pi square in bracket k square plus L1 square by g into L1. Okay, so here L1 is the distance between center of gravity of Keter pendulum to the first knip edge. Okay, so it is denoted by L1, and similarly L2 is the distance between center of pendulum to second knip edge. So it is k square L2 square divided by g into L2. Okay, so these are the two squares. Write as a equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, so rearranging these two equations, this equation number 1 and equation number 2 in such way that we get T1 square into T1 square into L1 is equal to 4 pi square by G into K square plus L1 square. And T2 square is equal to T2 square L2 is equal to 4 pi square by G in bracket K square plus L2 square. Okay, so equation number 3 and equation number 4. So subtracting these two equations, like subtracting equation 4 from 3, we get T1 square L1 minus T2 square L2 is equal to 4 pi square by G into K square plus L1 square minus 4 pi square by G into K square plus L2 square. Okay, so solving this equation we get 4 pi square by g as a common term, so in bracket k square plus l1 square minus k square minus l2 square. So after cancellation of k square we get 4 pi square by g in bracket l1 square minus l2 square. Okay, so this is the term T1 square L1 minus T2 square L2. Okay, so again rearranging this equation, we get 4 pi square by G is equal to T1 square L1 minus T2 square L2 divided by L1 square minus L2 square. Okay, so we know that the mathematical formula a square minus b square is a plus b and a minus b. Okay, so it is 4 pi square by g is equal to t1 square l1 minus t2 square l2 divided by l1 plus l2 into l1 minus l2. Okay, so equation number 5. So again we know that partial fraction formula which is used in mathematics. It is 4 pi square by g is equal to a by L1 plus L2 plus b by L1 minus L2. Okay, so solving this equation we get a into L1 minus L2 plus b into L1 plus L2 divided by L1 plus L2 L1 minus L2. Okay, so it is equal to multiplied a in this bracket and b in this bracket, so we get a into L1 minus a into L2 plus b into L1 minus plus b into L2 divided by L1 plus L2 into L1 minus L2. Okay, so take a L1 as a common term, we get L1 in bracket a plus b plus b in plus L2 in bracket a b minus a divided by L1 plus L2 L1 minus L2. Okay, so from equation for you and equation 6, it is observed that the value of t1 square is equal to a plus b and value of t2 square is equal to a minus b. Okay, that means compare these two equations, we get t1 square and t2 square. So adding and subtracting these two equations, we get t1 square plus t2 square is equal to a plus b plus a minus b. So it is twice a, t1 square plus t2 square. Therefore, a is equal to t1 square plus t2 square divided by 2. And for the value of b, subtracting these two equations, we get t1 square minus t2 square is equal to a plus b minus a minus plus b. Okay, so after cancellation of a, we get 2b, and the value of b becomes t1 square minus t2 square by 2. Okay, so put the value of a and b in equation in this equation 5a. Okay, so the equation becomes 4 pi square by g is equal to t1 square plus t2 square divided by 2 in bracket L1 plus L2 plus t1 square minus t2 square divided by 2 L1 minus L2. Okay, so again we know that T1 is not exactly equal to T2. If we consider T1 is equal to T2, then second term, that means T1 square minus T2 square becomes 0. So neglect this term. We get 4 pi square by g is equal to T1 square plus T2 square divided by twice L1 plus L2. Okay, so rearranging this equation in such way that we get the value of g. It is T1 4 pi square into 2 into L1 plus L2 divided by T1 square plus T2 square. So it is equal to 8 pi square L1 plus L2, it becomes capital L divided by T1 square plus T2 square. Okay, so here L is equal to L1 plus L2. So L is the total length of pendulum, g is the acceleration due to gravity, t1 square is the t1 is the time period for first knee phase and t2 is the time period for second knee phase. linkage. So this is the Bessel's formula. Thank you.